Hello, good morning or afternoon. My name is Robert van 't Hof. I'm CEO of Westfort. We're standing here in the Netherlands in the beautiful IJsselstein. We're a family-owned meat production company. In 2015 we have built a totally new slaughterhouse where we can slaughter approximately 50,000 pigs per week. And we have a total new scoop for you because last week we opened our new deboning production and frozen warehouse facility next in line with our slaughterhouse. Well, we are happy for this invitation to show you all the new equipment and way of production together with Marel we were able to implement here, and we will show you how that works. We have three production principles. We call it flow, flex and control. So flow is very important, but you never can lose your flexibility. So in the design of the process, we really looked at all points where we could need flexibility in the future. For instance, because the market of deboned shoulders is very bad or low, then we don't want to become a slave of our system. The combination of be able to produce in flow but still have a maximum flexibilization, that was our goal to achieve with this plant. To process in a total flow from dropping the pig and deboning all middles and forends in one flow without disruption, you need to be really in control. And the control part is about an optimum planning. And the other part of being in control is making sure you collect all data from your process, like the weights of the primary parts. So one of the challenges we had to meet when designing this production plant was to be able to trace all meat from all the different labels we produce. So together with our ERP supplier RBK from the Netherlands and the Innova people from Iceland and the practical people from Marel Lichtenvoorde, we achieved a system with weighing scales, with barcodes. It's important to have traceability for the guarantees you give, but of course when you do that you can also calculate every batch, every lot, and you have also the financial insights. That's one of the things we had extra attention to designing the plant and implemented it, and especially the combination with the technique, so the hardware with the software. For instance, what we do with our RFID chip, we have a big project where we supply farmers with RFID ear tags, in which we are able to give customers insights in every stage the pig went through. And also the farmers, which we can give individual animal data back from their slaughter results, which helps them to improve their business. And the other one is worldwide access, market access. So as a company, we strive for worldwide market access, and that we are able to do square valorization of the pig, going to adapt to all market circumstances and sell every piece and part of meat where at that moment the best demand is. The average slaughterhouses 30 years ago slaughtered in the Netherlands 6,000 pigs per week. You're not able to automate and invest in new technologies, but nowadays we slaughter 50,000 pigs per week, and these scales makes it possible to invest in further mechanization and further robotization, in which it's profitable to debone and, if you say, total valorize the pig to all these markets over the world. So therefore there's a lot of changes in the last 10 years which now make it possible to make value of the total product. One important reason why we choose for Marel for this new deboning facility was Deboflex. What we do is labor intensive. We have a lot of challenges to get people working with us, and it's heavy work, and of course yield is important. And with this new reinvention, I think, of how you can debone a shoulder or a forend using gravity, using positioning of the product, I think we're very happy that we implemented it. It's only for 1 week running, and we can already see how good it's functioning. I think it's very good that this craftsman work, where people have done it for a long time at the same way. If you look at with the technologists and the people from the practice, and you look at it again, you can see what you can improve, and that's a good thing. That's how we can innovate. That's why we can keep our competitive advantage together with Marel. At this moment, or I can say the last 2-3 years, the market is dominated or disrupted, I could say, with ASF. Of course, that's made a totally change of how protein goes from one continent to the other and how demand developed. So for that, our company had to adapt to that situation. And there are, of course, a lot of other trends that will be for the future are also very important. But as ASF, I would say at this moment, is the most important one. So beside of the risk of animal diseases to have also other diseases, I think there's a positive thing for the pork market that despite the trend here in also in the Netherlands that there are consumers looking for alternatives. Worldwide, the consumption of pork will increase. For us, of course, operating in the Netherlands, but I would say it's for whole Europe, but especially in the Netherlands, we have to cope with the situation that the government, there's a political trend to of course, environmental driven, to decrease the number of farmers and the number of pigs. And of course, that's for us a big threat. But while we have a higher demand, while we have this nice production facility, we will have to cope with a government that is trying to reduce the number of pigs. So one of the reasons we realized this new plant is, of course, that we need to be competitive to our other Dutch and European competitors. So by realizing this, we are sure we have an advantage. And while we have a decreased number of farmers, we should be competitive enough to pay the best price in a decreasing number of available pigs. So we are very positive about the future. Working in the Netherlands, where we have to cope with law regulations from the government, which are higher maybe than, or not maybe, are for sure higher than in other parts of Europe, or especially the world. And also the cooperation with the NGOs, it brought us to a state where I think we belong, even if we are more expensive to produce in our primary sector, we belong to the top of the world. Of course, it has also a lot to do with the quality of our farmers. It's not for nothing that we have here the best agriculture university of Wageningen, with all the knowledge our farmers have, which they use to produce the best pigs. And then with the state-of-the-art buildings and equipment we realized as Westfort in the last years, I think we're for sure ready for the future. Not only to be competitive in speaking away of cost, but also to be competitive in our concepts and brands, which we, together with our farmer, we produce to supply specific markets like antibiotic-free life guarantee. And last but not least, with all the experience we have and the chilling and the production and the way we cope with animal welfare in our company, we are able to produce, as we can say, the best meat quality. So with that package of what we could say maybe as what we earlier would see as a disadvantage with this higher production cost in the Netherlands, I think our current standard, we should be able to sell this worldwide, and that should bring us a good future. Of course, I don't know all the sales members of Marel, so it's very hard in general to say about what somebody should stop doing or should do. But from my opinion, one very important thing is while Marel sells machines, combination of machines with IT is becoming more and more important. And I think every salesperson should have the best possible knowledge also about the IT possibilities, to collect more data and to tell customers and learn them how they can use it even better maybe than they had imagined. I'm not sure, maybe every salesperson in Marel already does it, but I would certainly recommend it, do it more and more, and make sure you know which IT possibilities you have. And don't think, okay, I know about the machine, somebody else will explain about the IT. So that's one thing. But also, very important, the after sales. When you buy this equipment, there's a lot of IT involved. You will have changes, you will have errors in your software, they will have to be solved. So for that reason, it's very important you have a partner where you're sure they can give this 24/7 service, and that there's a good balance between price and quality. And please always use, and I think a good salesperson would do it, look to what's there and give the customer a good advice about all the developments there are. Marel is working on a lot of new possibilities for processing, and of course as a customer you're not always aware what will be coming. This kind of factories, they have to operate for 30-40 years, and you want to be ready, and you want that your supplier has already taken into thought and advised you about maybe next technologies, and that you will not have to totally disrupt your already done investments, but that you're ready to do new investments which are added to your current investments. But I think Marel is doing a very good job by having this advantage, what they know about slaughtering, and also establish that in deboning. So for us in this part, there's no reason to go to shop and to go to competitors. But one last advice, I would also, as Marel, help companies that if they see that even one part or some machines that a competitor has an advantage or has had this innovation which Marel didn't have, make sure you enable your customers to implement it also. As a company, we will always strive not to say one-stop shopping is the solution or it's a goal. No, the goal is we have for every step the best technology, the best people. We trust in that Marel to deliver to us what we need for our business, and that we together bring this to a success, because of course if we are successful, Marel should also be.